Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another video of the 100 Days to CLAT series. This is day 15 away from the CLAT exam and there is like 2 weeks left for your final CLAT, and I have given the mock 47 of legal age, so I would be discussing how that mock was and what were my learnings for that mock. There were a lot of new things which I have learned, a lot of mistakes which I have made, so you guys will be very much benefited from listening to that. So these were the tasks which I have done. Only 4 tasks, and I'm really ashamed of this. Ki I haven't done anything. I mean, I'm feeling really guilty about my preparation level because it has dropped marginally. So yeah, maybe I need to just lock in right now at least. July का compendium I did, June का half I did the mock and analysis, that is it. I did not do anything except these. I did not even give the GK test because I just slept at that time. I'm really sad about that. But the amount of learnings which I made for the day was too much, so I mean it is a win at the end. So let us first discuss how the mock was. Let us go section by section. English, GK, English में I have heard a lot of people saying English was very easy, but I personally did not feel it to be easy. The level was moderate because the questions, a few questions were quite problematic or tricky से थे कुछ questions. So if you haven't given the mock 47, then the English section is a must try section because it had a lot of literature genre के passages. Those were quite good passages. The passage size were good and even the questions were quite good. It wasn't very easy. It had a lot of mix of questions from various types of question stems. So overall it was a good section, and maybe around 17 plus 18 plus would have been a good score in the English section. Now GK was a straight up nightmare or a reality check for me because GK में I haven't scored this bad in my recent past. इतना कम तो कभी नहीं आया था probably. At least in my drop year I haven't scored this bad. It was very pathetic because majority of the topics were from the November month and that compendium hasn't been released. So basically we did not know a lot of topics and all of the topics felt like miscellaneous topics. So I felt very bad or sad about after seeing my GK ka section ka score, but it also gave me a reality check that I'm getting a lot reliant on this GK ka score. Because of that my marks are boosting or inflated, and whenever a GK section which is hard comes to the mock, I'm just crumbling down, and maybe I need to just focus more on the other sections as well rather than solely relying on my GK marks. That is the basic learning from this. It was like super difficult. I've scored a lot of wrong questions in this. A score of even 10 plus would have been very good. This was similar on the lines of CLAT 2023 paper because 2023 में भी ऐसा ही कुछ था paper. And then comes legal. Legal was straight up easy. If you haven't given the mock, okay, I'll discuss that at the end. Legal was very easy. The passages were short, direct inference based questions, and I did not feel any difficulty in probably any question. एक दो questions में there was quite some problem, but legal was very easy. So a 28 plus would have been a good score in legal, assuming you have attempted all the passages. If you haven't attempted, maybe a 25 plus would have been at least the minimum score you need to get. Then comes logical reasoning. Logical reasoning had the AR passage as well. Let us first discuss CR ka part. CR was on and all easy to moderate. There wasn't a lot of problems in the CR passage. At least the first passage was very easy. The second one में the what is that, mirror the paradox wala question, the question number 96 was a bit difficult, I mean a bit tricky, and the cricket wala was a bit moderate side pe tha, but overall CR was quite easy, I would say. easy to moderate, and then the AR section. AR section was moderate to difficult. The reason why I'm saying it moderate to difficult is because it took me a lot of time. It took me 10 minutes approximately to complete this AR ka section, and there were two variables in this as well. And I've seen a lot of people not able to complete this AR, but if you would have completed the AR, considering आपके AR में 6 marks आ रहे हैं, then a total of 17 plus 18 plus would have been a good score. But considering AR में you have gotten 6, only then 17 plus is a good score, or else anything nearby that would have also been not that bad. Now let us discuss the ending का quants. Quants was a golden section बोलूँगा. बहुत मस्त सेक्शन था क्वांट्स का, स्पेशली द फर्स्ट पैसेज. इट वाज समथिंग डिफरेंट. वी हैवंट, आई कैन गारंटी यू हैवंट सीन एनीथिंग लाइक दैट. वैसा टाइप का पैसेज था वो, एंड इट वाज क्वाइट गुड. इट टुक मी अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन क्वांट्स में आई स्पेंट अराउंड 20 minutes and still I guessed one question which turned out to be right. But still the first passage took a lot of time because there were a lot of percentages, cost price, selling price, बहुत ज़्यादा variables थे. Even the second passage was easy but it took a lot of time. बहुत ज़्यादा calculations करने पड़ रहे थे उसमें. And quants में I took up a challenge to complete it in a span of 10 to 12 minutes, और 10 to 12 minutes बस मेरे एक ही passage में हो गए. So I terribly failed in that challenge. Overall, if you haven't attempted this mock, the sections which I would recommend to attempt would be the quants first passage at least. The logical reasoning ka analytical reasoning was quite good, and GK section is a must attempt, so that if you want a reality check how a tough GK section looks like, then giving GK is a good thing. And English ka bhi I would say it was a moderate section. So English, GK, analytical passage and quants were like quite good. You can attempt that if you wish. And overall, if you see, a good score in quants would be around 6 plus. 6 plus, I mean, the second passage was quite doable. Even in the first passage, two questions were very easy to do, so around 8 plus would have been a good score here. So 8 here, 17 here, 17, 34, 42, 42, 50, 60, 70, 80. So around 80 plus or 85 के बीच में a score would have been a good score. But उसके ज़्यादा भी आएगा तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. So let us discuss the learnings if you want. जल्दी डिस्कस कर दूंगा. The first thing is I have to be seated by 1:30. This is the somewhere I saw in the video कि 1:30 पे we have to be seated, because even in the CLAT day you would be seated before 1:30. So you need to have that habit of sitting 30 minutes idle without doing anything. And getting too dependent on GK, as I discussed earlier, don't have to be overtly vigilant in my logical reasoning. Logical reasoning में I spent a lot of time. Even the CR passages weren't that difficult, weren't that time consuming, but still I spent a lot of time. Because of that, I had to spend less time in my quants, or I was not able to complete quants on time, was struggling to meet the ends meet, वैसा टाइप का हो गया था at the end. And question stem, whenever there is a negative word, then the option might also have that. So this I got this learning from the English and logical reasoning ka section somewhere. So in order to eliminate, we have to do this. This is just a basic observation. Vocabulary problem is coming back again for me. So what I would do for that is, this is a must thing which I will do for the next 15 days without missing a single day, and I guarantee I will do it. That is daily news, daily vocabulary, and Aeon passages without missing a beat. And okay, I'll add it here: quants plus ARB, though be these 5 things must do. And dot strategy for the legal, वहाँ पर if this is a sentence, I was placing my pen here, then I was placing here, and I was quickly reading that. So through that my speed has increased exponentially in legal, so it helped me quite a lot. And these were the two questions which I got, and that was, I was facing quite a bit of difficulty whenever there were pencil sounds. There are a lot of people who are using pencil to underline the passages, and I can guarantee there is a lot of chance कि वो final day पे backfire कर जाएगा, because if the invigilator gets mad at you, or if anyone in your surrounding complains about you using a pencil, then that invigilator might make you erase all the pencil marks as well, because this has happened in the last year. There was also a case filed in the Supreme Court regarding this. So there is a possibility. So do not get overtly reliant on this pencil ka underlining stuff. The person right next to me, the person right next to me on the left side, and the person behind me, everyone were using a pencil to underline it. And please don't do that. It is quite disturbing. But I have to adopt to that as well. So let us see how things go. If that happens in the final flat, I will simply complain to the invigilator if that ever happens. And the next thing is difficulty when others were watching. The invigilator was acting quite stupid this time. She was watching my paper, and I was feeling like really different. Whenever any other person watches you, you just don't tend to perform great. So वैसा ही हो रहा था इंग्लिश सेक्शन के टाइम पर. My comprehension dipped when she was watching. My speed slowed down. So maybe I need to do something for that as well if that happens in the final CLAT. Next thing is quads. The faster I am going, the slower the outcome is coming. The reason being, the first second passage में I just went full speed. उस full speed से जाने से what happened? I made a lot of mistakes, so I have to do a lot of questions back and forth. So इससे बहुत time लग गया. 10 minutes is just not that great for the second passage. 7 minutes would have been fine. So I spent a lot of time on the second passage, which was quite bad. That 7-minute reserve strategy has worked wonders this time. I kept that 7 minutes reserved, and because quads with things did not go as I planned, I did use that 7 minutes. And only because of this 7 minutes extra which I saved, all I was able to attempt all the questions in quads. The next thing is don't underestimate the quads का time. Whenever I think कि quads 12 मिनट में ही हो जाएगा, 10 मिनट में ही हो जाएगा, it never happens. Quads में I have to give 25 minutes reserved at any cost, because when I give 25 minutes reserved, then I can do it with a peace of mind and I can get it done in 25 minutes. So yeah, I have to keep a lot of time for quants as well, so I need to devise my strategy around that as well. So I believe that is it for today's video. I hope you have learned a lot of things.